All right, VC, you all know what day it is today. Um, and I did my part, so we'll get to those records here in a little bit. I do have a few records that have come in as well this week that I'll share with you, and then we'll get to the record store day stuff. Yeah, jumping into it. As you know, I've been collecting ESP disc. It's been very enjoyable. I'm digging a lot of things that I had not heard before. A lot of the folk stuff too I'm digging, but a couple free jazz monster pieces have arrived. Sonny Simmons music from the Spheres, and this one's in beautiful condition. And he's got his wife Barbara Donald on trumpet on this, which is really cool. I love the interplay between the two. I mean, it's just a special connection there, obviously. And Jim Zitro's on drums on this, who is really fucking cool. And there's a Zitro record as a leader on ESP disc. It's fucking impossible to find. I'd love to find it. But yeah, this is a great one. Just two pieces on each side. 1960, recorded in 66, I think released in 68, possibly. Not sure on that, but there's that bad boy. And then ESP disc as well. Frank Lowe, Black Beans, another one with a fantastic cover. And this has Joseph Jarman on it, which is why I wanted this one. I love Joseph Jarman from Art Ensemble Chicago. And there's the back cover, which is also very cool. And I'll show you the labels on this one. This is from, I think, 73. This is a sturdy piece of vinyl that they pressed on this one. So I'm very, very pleased with finding this. Yeah, In Train's name. So there's a song dedicated to John Coltrane here, so this might end up a good candidate for the John Coltrane Memorial Project. Alex. And what do we have next? Oh, the band The X from the Netherlands, who I fucking love. They put up a post that they were basically about giving away these tapes. So I went to their site and I ordered this tape from the Netherlands. And so I looked around to see what else they had on sale. And so I grabbed this tape. It's Getatachu, Makuria, and The X and Guests. And I have a video with this and it's fucking great. So I got a tape for the boombox. Very cool to have something like this on tape, but it's this dude with the playing saxophone with African vibe, with the X throwing their punk jams behind it. It's freaking cool. Really dig this. I can't believe they put it out on a tape. I mean, you can get it on CD or vinyl too, but I just thought, they were giving it away basically, so I grabbed that. Found this on their improv series on the Terp label. So you got Han Benink, Terry X, and Brody West, Let's Go. And this is completely improvised music, and one I could have had in the tag that Alex just threw at us. But yeah, you got Terry X on guitar, Brody West on alto sax, and of course Han Benink on drums. And this is a fantastic record. God, what year is this? From 2010. So this is already 12 years old. But the thing I was really stoked to find for super cheap was their album Catch My Shoe. And this is my favorite album by The X. I've had the CD since it came out in 2010. I got it at the old Lunchbox, and then I actually saw them in 2014 in Barcelona at Primavera Sound, and they played a bunch of stuff from this record, and I love this record. Maybe I Was the Pilot. It opens is just killer. The whole record's fucking great though. I love their drummer. She's such a fucking badass. Andy Moore is also great on guitar. Terry X, of course. Arnold DeBarre, vocal and guitar. Yeah, Katharina Bornfeld, one of my favorite drummers. So this, and they only ever pressed this once. So this has never been reissued, and it was, I don't know, like $10 or something. So yeah, Catch My Shoe from the X. Very stoked to get, it was a sealed original. Let's see, next that came in was a pre-order I'd forgotten about, Canyons. And yeah, this is a band out of Philly, on the Knife Hits label. This is their album Stay Buried. So I got two. It comes with an alternate cover you can use. And this is one of 50. So this is like an alternate art cover. Very cool. And this is good Philly hardcore. Thing that sold me on this, there's a song on the B-side that's got a excerpt from the movie Outside Providence on it. Fucking hilarious. Epic shit. Yeah, Canyons, some good Philly hardcore. Staying with hardcore and punk, Battalion of Saints, Second Coming, out of San Diego. This is an original from 1984 on Neutron's Records, in really good shape. Extremely stoked to find this. Some dude in Montana had it, of all places, and got it here in a couple of days. Yeah, so it's like a split between Neutron's Records and Enigma Records. Just good hardcore punk. Here's your labels, white labels. I'd like to find their first EP, but it's super pricey, so that probably is never going to happen. But this was a steal. The guy was accepting offers, so I threw a low ball out there, and off it came. Yeah, this is a wild. I'm not big on their singer, but the band rocks. Next, I did the Sun Ra video, and it got the wheels turning on trying to find some of the ones that I missed out on the reissues anyway. And I'm finding them still super cheap, like $15. Some people are trying to charge $85 to $100 for these now, but then there's people that got them for $15. So it's, whatever. I grabbed the $15 variety. Mr. Sun Ra and his orchestra, Bad and Beautiful. I just spun this. This is fantastic. This is more straight ahead stuff. Really great sax playing, and Sun Ra on piano. So they're at the Calligrapher's Workshop in New York when they got kind of stranded in New York City for a spell. So it's a much smaller lineup. Because this is who stuck around in New York, with Sun Ra, John Gilmore, Pat Patrick, Marshall Allen, Ronnie Boykins on bass, and Tommy Hunter. And I think it had to do with Ronnie Boykins' cars. I can't remember the whole story. Something happened, and they got stuck in New York, so they made a bunch of freaking records while they were there at this workshop, and I believe this was one of them. 1972, Al Saturn, and this is the Saturn Research reissue from like 2003 or something like that. Again, I'm seeing people hawk these for $85 to $100, but then there's people that still have them for what they originally sold for, $15. Maybe they just want to get rid of it. I don't know. This one's dead mint though, and flat, not warped. Sounds good. As good as it's gonna get. It's still live at the workshop, so it's not the best sound quality, but it's good stuff. All right, so that's the stuff that came in early in the week. So moving on to Record Store Day. Every year it gets to the point where I'm thinking I'm not even going to go at all, and then I still end up going out, and I just make sure I'm not going to be in any lines. If there's going to be a line, I'm not going to mess with it. So I waited till 9:30 to go over to Repo to just take a look, see if there's a line. If there's a line, I'd turn right around and go home. I live down the street. They opened at 8, and usually Jimmy, when he says 8, he usually opens at 7. So I think he probably opened at 7, and because there was not a soul in line at 9:30, And so I walked right in, and there were only 3 RSD titles I cared about this year, and if I didn't get them, it was fine. But they had 2 copies left of Motorhead The Lost Tapes, live in Norwich from October of 1998, so I grabbed this. It's a double LP. I haven't even got into this yet, I just got this in the door. But I got the other one live in Madrid, so I wanted to get this one as well. They're finding all these great live cuts of Motorhead, and this ends with Ace of Spades and Overkill. It ain't gonna get much better than that. So yeah, live at University of East Anglia in Norwich, which I believe is in Ontario. I could be wrong, but yeah, very cool release with that. And the other RSD title I got there was the main one I wanted to get, and you'll know it's by the Trail of Dead. Oh god, well, it's Century of Self. And I haven't had the CD since it came out. Not my favorite record from them, but I love everything they've done, and this artwork is phenomenal. It's from Conrad Keeley. He's lead singer, lead guitar, and he's the artist on most all of their stuff too, which is just incredible artwork. I mean, he's one of the most amazing artists I know. And Svart, the Svart label, S-V-A-R-T, put these reissues out, so it's top notch. And this is limited color. Yeah. From Austin, Texas, great rock band. Usually always hit you with a heavy hitter right at the beginning of their records. So that one I'm excited to have a copy of, because originals are super expensive. And then I dug around the used. They've put up new walls in Repo, which is a major bonus, and they moved the jazz up front to its whole big section instead of the back spine out wall where they put country. So they've made a lot of improvement in there, and so it's easier to dig for jazz. And here was this gem. Charles Mingus and his jazz groups, Mingus Dynasty on Columbia, a 6i original. It belonged to Randy Price at one point. It's an original mono, and there's your price sticker. $10. It is not VG plus. It is maybe VG minus at best, but for $10, I am not leaving this behind. And the cover's in fantastic shape for the price. So this was one of the big scores of the day, and why I love doing RSD, because they bust out a lot of used that they've been holding on to, these shops, and there's that one. And so I came home, ate some lunch, thought about going to Lunchbox tomorrow maybe, because he tends to mark stuff down. He'll red sticker stuff, but then I was like, well, we'll go over there and see what the line looks like there. And they open at 8 also, but their line usually ends up like 3 freaking miles long and on the national news. It gets freaking nuts over at Lunchbox. So I went over, nobody in line, but the parking lot was packed. And there was a lot of people in there, and they were, almost all of them were in the RSD section. And Scott had posted the day before what he was putting on the wall, and he also posted that he was going to have some of the Nirvana live at the Milestone boots, which are impossible to find now. And so I was hoping to get that stuff, but then I was like, well, I'm not going to go down there at 4 a.m., so I'm not going to get that stuff. I wasn't worried about it. There was only one more RSD title I cared about getting, and I knew he had it, this Polish jazz one. So that's all I cared about getting down there. I go in, nobody had taken anything off the wall. The wall was pretty much exactly how he posted it online the day before, which I was very surprised. So I think the bulk of what he was doing was RSD stuff. But used is what helps these record stores on Record Store Day, not the RSD stuff. So I got Soundgarden, Louder Than Love, off the wall. OG, fucking awesome. Yeah, Hands All Over is one of my favorite Soundgarden songs ever, and I've never put hands on an original before until now, so there's that bad boy, one of my favorite bands of all time. And then he still had the Mad Season Above reissue. This is a numbered reissue, I think from 2013 this got put out. So this is one of the, I think probably what, maybe Music on Vinyl did this. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is the double LP. So that was a big one. This is one of my favorite records. When this came out, I bought the CD the day it was released, and I had it in the car on a trip, my first ever trip to Charlotte, and it was the only thing that got played, all the way down and all the way back to Fredonia, New York, like 10.5 hours each way. It was so good that there was 3 of us too on this trip, and we didn't care about hearing anything else. I mean, to tell you, it was this album. Yeah, that's a great one. And then I got this out of the used super cheap. MC5, Kick Out the Jams. Not an uncensored, but a censored one. But I think it's the first pressing of the censored. So, and it was super, super cheap, 1969 press. So I grabbed it. It doesn't say motherfucker on it, but what am I gonna do? That's tough to find. I've been trying to keep an eye peeled for Telegram Sam for one, and I think she ended up finding one. So I grabbed that one. Cover's not the best of shape, and I did get the Zygmunt Namaszowski air conditioned Follow Your Kite on Polish Jazz, the RSD release. This is a freaking cool record from 1980 originally. Hard to find originals in the States, if at all. You have to get them from Poland or Germany or France. But Namaszowski's on alto and Sopranino and flute. This dude, last name Sendecki, plays Mini Moog on here, Fender Rhodes, all the different piano stuff. And yeah, there's some great percussion and drums on this. This is a freaking cool record, and I'm glad it got reissued for RSD. And there's actually like 4 or 5 music titles that I saw in there for RSD. I know the Thomas Stanko got reissued. I got an original of that, but this is on this colored vinyl, which is unnecessary, but this is flat as a pancake. So I'm happy about that. And looking forward to getting into this. And yeah, that's everything that I got for Record Store Day. But when I got home, there was one package on the porch from Dusty Groove. I got this Carol Volebny SHQ record, Parnas, on the Superfon label, an original. This was extremely cheap. I think it was dirt cheap. I think this came out in 81 or 80. Vibes player, and he's got a big ensemble here, and this is more of a straight ahead affair for him, not as crazy as some of his other stuff, but Czech. This is a Czech original. Yeah, I don't have many records on this label, so I was happy to grab this. I was surprised they had it. Well, I guess in Chicago they might have that kind of stuff, but there's the label. Really cool, in great shape, the record. So yeah, I'm excited about that find. And so I was like, well, let's see what else Dusty Groove has. While I was on there, I was getting just the one cheap record, and they had this marked down for scratch and dent, basically. I guess well, it's got just a small dent in the bottom corner. I wouldn't worry about it. It's a triple LP, so it's understandable it gets shipped to them. Might have it's just got a little dent in the corner. Outer Nationals reissue of Horace Tapscott with the Pan African People's Orchestra live at IUCC, and this is freaking fantastic. I passed on it when I was at Amoeba, and Danny grabbed it because they had a high price on it. I think they wanted $40 for it, so I got this a lot cheaper because of the markdown at Dusty Groove. But yeah, at Emmanuel United Church of Christ in Los Angeles. Great insert. Horace Tapscott there with Reverend E. Edwards. And yeah, triple LP, it's not a gatefold. That's one thing I don't like about it, which is why I got the damage in the first place. But hell, marked down, so it's a lot cheaper. And so it's here. Horace Tapscott, just a brilliant pianist and orchestrator of this. Some great soloists on here too. Sabir Mateen's on here, and I think Alice was just talking about this record. This is one of his favorites. It was funny because I think we were texting about it with Dom, and then I went on Dusty Groove and found this stuff. It's crazy. That's everything. Looking forward to seeing some other RSD videos. I know Mazzy's will be crazy. But yeah, everybody take care out there. Peace.